You think you've got it all together, but deep down, something's missing. You're stuck in a cycle of emotional weakness, and it's silently destroying your life. Every decision feels harder, relationships seem impossible, and your mental state is slowly spiraling out of control. You may not even realize it, but it's killing your potential. It's time to face the truth. Most men are unaware of the signs of emotional weakness. Society teaches us to hide our feelings, to mask our vulnerabilities with false strength. But the truth is, emotional weakness isn't about being weak physically, it's about the mental and emotional barriers you've built that limit your growth. You think you're fine, you tell yourself you've got it under control, but inside, you're overwhelmed. You might have a career, you might have friends, but when it comes to handling life's pressures, you're barely scraping by. Emotional weakness shows up in every part of your life, and it's making everything harder than it has to be. At first, it's easy to brush off the small signs. You feel a little stressed, maybe even a little off balance, but you chalk it up to life. You tell yourself, it'll pass. But over time, you begin to realize that these little moments add up. You're not just facing a bad day, you're living in a constant state of emotional exhaustion. You can't focus, your relationships are strained, and every decision feels like a burden. The problem is, you've been ignoring the warning signs for so long that you don't even notice how much they've taken over your life. Sign number 1, inability to express emotions. You hold everything in. When you're upset, you bottle it up. When you're stressed, you hide it behind a smile. You've been taught that men don't cry, that emotions are a sign of weakness. But the truth is, suppressing your emotions only leads to internal chaos. You're carrying around a weight you don't need to. Sign number 2, avoiding confrontation. Every time an uncomfortable situation arises, you back away. You'd rather avoid the confrontation than face the truth. This fear of conflict stems from not wanting to deal with your emotions or make anyone upset. But by running away, you're only allowing the problem to fester and grow. Sign number 3, insecure decision-making. You second-guess every decision, no matter how small. Whether it's about your career, relationships, or even everyday choices, self-doubt clouds your judgment. This insecurity comes from a lack of emotional stability, and it's paralyzing your ability to move forward. Sign number 4, struggling with vulnerability. Opening up feels like a threat. You're scared to show your true self because vulnerability feels like a weakness. But what you don't realize is that true strength lies in embracing vulnerability. It's the first step towards emotional freedom. Sign number 5, fear of judgment. You're constantly worried about what others think of you. Whether it's your friends, colleagues, or strangers, their opinions define your self-worth. This fear of judgment keeps you from taking risks or pursuing your true passions. Sign number 6, excessive self-criticism. You're your own worst critic. You constantly beat yourself up for every mistake, no matter how small. This inner dialogue of self-doubt and criticism is draining your energy and preventing you from seeing your worth. Sign number 8, lack of boundaries. You let people walk all over you. Whether it's at work or in relationships, you have a hard time saying no. This lack of boundaries leaves you feeling overwhelmed and resentful, draining your emotional energy. Sign number 9, inability to handle stress. When stress hits, you crumble. Instead of dealing with it head-on, you avoid it, ignore it, or let it consume you. This emotional fragility keeps you from performing at your best, whether it's in your career or personal life. Sign number 10, emotional shutdown in relationships. You've built emotional walls, and now you're pushing people away. Whether it's a partner, a friend, or a family member, you struggle to connect because you're afraid of getting hurt. This emotional shutdown is isolating you, and it's impacting your relationships. As you watch these signs unfold, imagine what they might look like in real life. Picture a man sitting alone at his desk, surrounded by piles of work, his face a picture of stress and uncertainty. Cut to a scene where he avoids eye contact during an important conversation, his posture slouched as if trying to hide from the truth. Visualize him standing in front of a mirror, staring at his reflection, unsure of his next move. This is the emotional turmoil he's facing every day. Every day, you feel the pressure building up, a battle raging inside you. On one hand, you want to break free from these emotional chains, to live a life that's truly yours. But on the other hand, you fear the unknown. What if facing your emotions makes everything worse? What if the vulnerability you've avoided for so long actually exposes weaknesses you can't recover from? This is the fight you don't see in the mirror. It's the internal struggle that keeps you stuck, paralyzed by fear of judgment, failure, and rejection. The truth is, emotional weakness isn't just a personal issue, it's a societal one. From a young age, men are taught that strength comes from silence, from bottling up emotions and pretending they're invincible. But true strength lies in facing our emotions head-on. It's in the moments when we confront our fears, embrace vulnerability, and allow ourselves to be imperfect. It's not about avoiding pain or struggle, it's about growing through it. The most successful, resilient people in the world didn't get there by suppressing their feelings. They got there by acknowledging their weaknesses, learning from them, and turning them into sources of strength. So, why do we keep pretending that emotional weakness is something to hide? What if embracing vulnerability is the key to unlocking your true potential? The moment you stop pretending to be invincible, you start becoming truly strong. Emotional weakness isn't your identity, it's a temporary state, a challenge you can overcome. But the first step is admitting that you're not okay, that you've been carrying a weight you don't need to. And when you let go of that burden, that's when real growth begins. If you're ready to make a change, to break free from the cycle of emotional weakness, it's time to take action. Start by identifying one area of your life where you've been hiding your true emotions. Commit to being vulnerable, to facing that fear head-on. And remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. If you found this video helpful, hit like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content that helps you live a stronger, more authentic life. The central theme of this video is transformation. Emotional weakness isn't a permanent state, it's a challenge to be faced and overcome. The key message is that true strength comes from vulnerability, self-awareness, and the courage to confront one's own emotional struggles. This video is not just about recognizing weakness, but about using it as a stepping stone to build a more resilient, authentic self. Throughout this video, we've explored the harsh reality that emotional weakness is a silent killer in many men's lives. But we've also explored the path to redemption, how embracing vulnerability and acknowledging our emotional struggles can lead to true strength. This isn't a lecture, it's a journey of self-discovery. The journey to emotional freedom begins with a single step, the willingness to look inward and confront the feelings you've been avoiding. The story we've told today is not just about recognizing the problem, it's about showing you that the solution is within reach. The power is in your hands, and it's up to you to decide what comes next. The weight you carry, the fear, the insecurities, and the emotional barriers, can be symbolized as an invisible burden. Throughout this video, the imagery of a heavy backpack or chains represents the emotional weight men often carry without realizing it. When you finally confront and release these emotions, the chains fall away, and the backpack becomes light. This symbolizes the emotional freedom that comes from acknowledging and confronting weakness, a powerful metaphor for personal growth and transformation.